So, it's good. It's nice to be here at the centre here that we are at. Someone with Crohn's disease. I think that's probably the best disabled toilet I've ever been in. The one they've got in the green room. Yes, I don't know, almost bespoke, opulent, I don't know what it is. Right, so, so this is, it's about the future. What if, something inevitable, isn't it? Something's gonna happen. Don't know whether it's gonna be that, don't know whether it's gonna be that. I'm gonna do some poems, because I am a poet. I've written a book of poetry. Any questions? Okay, the first poem is about... So what I'm going to try and do is encompass sort of the future into some of my poems. I'm not going to explain it in every case, because that would be patronising, and you are all obviously intelligent, hence you're here, I'd imagine. Although, bearing in mind it's Saturday morning. I've never been up at this time before on a Saturday morning. Usually listen to Saturday Live in bed. Don't know if any of you ever do that? No. Okay, so this is a poem about a girlfriend before I ever got a girlfriend. So it's entitled Her. She radiates the warmth of a fur coat made from the last British beaver. Tight-fitting, inevitably, eternal closeness never to become extinct. She grants me the comforting soft touch of a leaf of sage, such an ease to engage with. She is the soothing aromatic sprig of garden mint that relieves me of irritable bowel syndrome. The much-needed nicotine-weighty cigarette from which the smoke spirals, dances and curls from. She is the glow beneath the smothering dead ash. She is my orchestra, my string quartet. Not the cello, though. She's not a fat lass. But the violin, a support for the chin as she rests gently on the shoulder, like a pirate's parrot, not repeating facetiously, but responding lovingly. She is as subtle and calming as the wedding reception harpist, as discreet as a nurse in the STD clinic, I'd imagine. She is more words than will fit on all this notebook's paper. She is a love too perfect, an undiscovered fictional character. There we are. So, travelling. I live on a boat with my carer, girlfriend, fiancée. And she said, this is moving, it's travelling, it's moving forward, going into the future. There's some sort of technical references. Anyway. It's called Diary Extract. Window seat, facing, unreserved, table of 4, and just sat wondering whether this incredibly expensive cup of tea will ever cool down. I've finished reading the safety instructions as instructed by the little man in the speaker, and so now I'm just gazing out of the window at moving hills, the rolling fields, and sheep following sheep, and wondering why they won't wave back. I've taken the lid off from my cup of tea now, rather than blowing at it through the small hole on the plastic lid, and hence making a whistling sound, because it appears to be annoying the lady sat opposite. She is glaring at me over the top of the screen of her clicky, tip-tappity laptop and yelling hello repeatedly into her mobile phone. The old man sitting next to me reeks of wee and is, appears to be, unwrapping the tin foil from some egg and cress sandwiches. The other person sat opposite me is trying to negotiate more leg room by subtly kicking my legs off. Only 2 stops to go. So, this is a lovely bit of this a quote from George Gissing, of whom his works I've never read. I don't know, is anyone familiar with George Gissing? But he's written something which is being put on the piece of card that comes in Twining's tea. It says, "The mere chink of cups and saucers tunes the mind to happy repose." A lovely line. Get that free. when you buy tea, I held on to that. And I didn't even buy the tea. It was a box of tea in the cafe that I work at in Oxford. It's an organic cafe. Thoughts and Gardens. I'm not going to do a plug. Wouldn't affect me. Not on commission. How many scones we sell. I'm sort of like a dinner lady, really. It's done on a sort of servery. A bit like prison. But posh. Okay, this is called The Grass Won't Necessarily Be Greener, autumn 2011. My friend Chris is emigrating to Spain in a day or so. The levels of sun are higher there than they are here. The grass will be scorched. He will still get depressed. Okay, the next one. So this sort of fish. Now, obviously, children are young, and then adults are older. They will be the future of children. Like I say, I'm going to sort of try and make a reference in all of my poems, kind of clever like that. So this is a poem that I wrote for my girlfriend's children because they were into fish a few days ago, and this will lead on to a poem about sustainability. All right. Bear with me, obviously, bearing in mind this is for children. Fish like food, like you and me, they have gills on their sides to let them breathe. Out and in, out and in, and fins and a tail that help them swim. The fish in the sea are the fish that are free. The fish around the lake never swim straight. The fish in your pond are the ones that you're fond of. The fish in the bowl are orange but called gold, and the fish caught on a hook are the ones that you cook. It's called The Future of Fish. Okay, now this one, no. Time's money, come on. Got another 48 of these, right. Okay, this is I'm from Torquay. This is from the perspective of a seagull called Melvin. And it's him sort of, it's like a message. It's for the kids. So it's called Melvin's Fish Finger Knowledge. From the grassy tuft on the cliff edge, Melvin clenched his upper and lower and went for it. He flew for it, shrieking, "Feather it! I'm off. I'm off to pastures new. Brixham. That'll do. For beneath the froth in around the docks, there'll be some mackerel upon which I'll feast. Not battered, not fried, nor with chips or peas, but a feast I will have. Share? I will not. But to dine I will, perhaps on pollock, possibly brill, but just not on cod. 'Cause there's a shortage. The cod's nearly gone, Melvin pondered. That's why, he continued, there's more pollock in fish fingers nowadays. Because the captain knows. His bird's eye view has a true perception of the political demographic situation amongst fish. Right, ironic and iconic. Now there's a speaker talking about the Olympics. I was going to stick a bit in there, I didn't like it, so I didn't. That's all right, because he can talk about that. So this is called Ironic and Iconic. As ironic as filling in an incapacity benefit form in the gym, as iconic as standing on the stadium stage, as ironic as phonetic, spelt F-U-N-E-T-I-C-K, as iconic as being the different thing that you are genuinely happy being, as ironic as being different but only so that you fit in. As iconic as being the winner in a race, as ironic as taking part just for taking part's sake, and then winning. as iconic as being the best in the class at spellings tests, as ironic as spelling spellings wrong at the top of the test. Okay, that's all right. I sort of won your confidence, so now I can start doing some of the shit ones. No, okay. All right. Now, three, fantastic. Well, I'm going to finish then, ladies and gentlemen, with a poem about a swan. It's about the dangers of smoking, for the fact that when, in the first week of us having the boat, I tapped the ash of my cigarette onto the beak of a swan that was sticking his head over the stern, the back of the boat. So it's called An Ode and Apology to the Swan. This morning, the river's rough ripplings means that the swans are surfing past the boat and the bottoms of banks where the mallards rest with their reversible heads, beaks embedded in feathers. Lovely rhythm, isn't it, already? And the second verse, not so strong, actually, because I was thinking more about the third and the fourth. Sorry, so it's not as good as the first. Just bear with me. Hopefully you won't notice. Right. Oh, swan, 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 my swanny, swanny, swan, swan, son of another swan, I'd imagine. I could never eat one. Not just because it's illegal, I'd just much rather feed you from the crumbs from my breadboard. Last night I saw you soar and ski for many meters like Eddie the Eagle. No, I didn't say seagull, because I know you're more refined than those scavenging seaside swines. Oh, I love it when you dine. Stalking the shoal that dart below the surface, your brontosaurus neck nearly reaching riverbed, and your quill-clad behind waggling as you dine, dancing in the air like at the Folies Bergère. Oh, yeah. Sometimes you like brill, other times bream, occasionally trout, or whatever's about. You're not fussy. That's one of the things I love about you, Swanee. Because you're a propellerless, porcelain, marshmallow-winged, passengerless pedalo, a destinationless leisure craft, playing chicken in the path of the bow of my barge. It's like a heavy metal bit, quite unusual in verse. Sometimes I get away with it. Last verse. But one time, Swanee, when we were all moored up, the kettle had whistled, I'd got my cup, and I was sat smoking on the back of the boat, and you looked at me so sternly. There we are, pun of the day, thank you. Thanks very much. Worth a round of applause. Save it until the end. Because I had tapped off the ash onto your beak accidentally. Obviously, I'm sorry, Swanee. Thank you very much.
For more big thinking about the future, go to iq2if.com.